Oh, it's got to start. Okay. I think we are on. Yes, we are on. All right, let me make sure we are on Instagram. Okay, here we go. And there we go. I think we live on Instagram too. Cool. All right. So welcome, guys. I'm gonna let some people hop on real quick. I see one person come on. Once you come into the live, make sure you type in the chat. Just say hello, say hi, say something so I know you're there. So I see you when you come on. I'm not really able to see the names, but if you type something in the chat, I can see you and you will come up. So type in the chat so I see your name. Welcome to the It's Mental podcast, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, like and share this, please. Like and share this. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, right? I think I'm at like a little under 60, 58, something like that. We just getting started though. We're only a month and a half in. We got a long way to go. I was thinking about it. When I get to 1,000, I think I'm gonna give away $1,000. I think I'm gonna go. Hey, look at it. I think so. I woke up this morning. I was like, I should give away something when I get to 1,000 subscribers. So I'm gonna get $1,000. I'm saying it today. What's today? May 16th. When I get to $1,000, somebody gonna get $1,000. I'm gonna bless somebody that need it though. Somebody that might be in need that day. I'm gonna give it to them. All right. So mark my words. If I forget, somebody gonna remind me about $1,000.
Right. That's on the record.
Right. It's on the record. It's live. It's everywhere. Right. So, hey, make sure you guys log on and wait for a few more people to log on. I got somebody else that's going to join us. They're 2 minutes from logging on. Yeah, we're going to get started here in just a minute. I want to give time for people to log on. Ashley, if you want, I don't know if you have another device. If you want to share it on your page, you can. I believe you can. I just don't want it to mess up your live, your feed.
I know.
That's the only thing.
Let me see if I can do that.
So while you're doing that, I'm going to start with the introduction here. I am the DJ Benzie. I am the host of the It's Mental podcast. We are live every week on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. You guys asked for the 7:30 p.m. slot, so that's where we are. That's what we're doing, 7:30 p.m. Y'all said 12 noon was in the middle of the day. I'm at work. I can't watch. But sometimes I get more people at 12 noon. So I don't know what's going on, but it's all right. It's all good. We're going to test it out. We're going to see what works. And we're just going to keep on rolling. We are sponsored by Do Well Entertainment. That's my company. We do a lot of parties, bar mitzvahs, weddings, whatever it is. If you want a party, come holler at us. We got a DJ. We got a team, dancers, lights, everything. You name it. We got it for you. So catch us live on Instagram at the DJ Benzie, or you can catch us right here on Facebook, Twitter at the DJ Benzie, on what's the other one? TikTok at the DJ Benzie, and on YouTube at Do Well Entertainment LLC. All right. So you guys tap in with us. I see y'all coming on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today I do have a special guest. I haven't seen Ashley in years. Like,
no.
So that's what, Chase years?
Yeah, I think I might have been like 19 years old.
Yeah, it's been a long time, right? Yeah. Oh, I think I have my other guest in. There he is. There he is. Can you hear? Hey. All right. Well, now I can go. I think I can go full screen now. Let me see. Let's see. Bam. Hey, Erica, welcome. All right, y'all. So I got my boy Cliff on. Cliff, he go back. He's my boy from AZ too. But we still hang. I still see him all the time. He got them good teeth. All you need is that gold fang hanging down.
Yeah, I'm about to give you some goals, right? I always want to go.
That's funny. So yeah, welcome y'all. Thank y'all for joining. Please like, please share. Give me a hello in the chat. Once again, I got Ashley. I've been knowing her for like 19 years. I haven't talked to her in a long time. Got Cliff, been knowing Cliff for probably about the same time, 17, 18 years, something like that. We go back. So we're just gonna get on here and we're gonna talk. We're gonna have a good show tonight. We're going to talk about some things, and we might have some difference of opinions. We want to hear from y'all. We want to know your opinion. But real quick, I didn't realize this is actually Mental Health Month. Did y'all know that was Mental Health Month?
Yeah, I'm big on that. Yeah.
Yeah, Mental Health Month. And you know what? It's crazy, right? I'm gonna be a little transparent with y'all before we even get started, right? So I always, I wasn't always big on mental health, but I understand people go through mental health struggles and stuff like that. But I started to realize that I personally struggle with anxiety, right? I'm like, dang, I started like putting the piece together and like how I act in certain times. And, I thought I was just like tripping, like kind of antsy, but I'll be suffering from anxiety. So I'm going to go talk to somebody and see why I suffer from anxiety. You know what I mean? So that's a part of mental health. I think really, if you want to be 100 about it, we all got some mental health challenges at some point in our life. So mental health is important. If y'all struggling with something, don't be afraid to go talk to somebody, go see a doctor, go see a pastor, go see a mentor, go talk to your mama, go talk to somebody about what you're dealing with. Don't just sit there and let it mellow and create all these thoughts. Darnisha, hey, welcome. Make sure y'all like and share this, please. We're trying to get this up. Our numbers are low tonight, but that's okay. We finna get started and jump right into it. So this week, I think on Monday, right, I randomly posted something on social media. I said, could a woman, a mother on her own, raise her son to be a man, or teach a boy how to be a man, right? That's what I put on there. I think the post, it was worded something like that, right? Y'all get the gist of it.
Yeah.
And the post kind of blew up, right? The post kind of blew up. We had a lot of different opinions. I didn't say much. I kind of just dibble dabble, make a little comment. But because it blew up, I figured, let me just make that a conversation tonight. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about. So before we get into that, this is my question. I'm going to ask you both. I know I got a male on here and I got a female on here. So I'm going to ask y'all both this first question.
I'll take the male role.
You take the thank you. I appreciate it. You'll be an ugly female. You ain't that good looking of a male.
I know you lying.
All right. So to you, right? This is personal. There's no wrong answers to this. To you, what is the definition of a man? Ashley, I'm gonna hit you first just because you joined first. So what is the definition of a man?
I've been thinking about it all day. It's really, really hard to say because I think the answer to that question is based off of what people feel like they lacked from the men in their life. So, like when I first think about it, my first thought is accountability. Someone who can be accountable, be responsible, be humble, all at the same time. I think sometimes we hear what is a man and we think masculinity or we think gender. But there are a lot of people, men around here who we would not consider to be men, and you just are those things naturally. So I think to be a man, it takes effort and it takes another step to be able to consciously make decisions and choices, whether they're easy or difficult. So for me, it's accountability. That's like number one for me when I think about what a man is.
A man that's accountable, right? Accountable. That's good. Cliff, talk to me. What makes a man to you?
Besides the obvious of what Ashley stated, I just go simple with it, man. Just testosterone, masculinity, a penis. Like real talk, man. Like,
but I want you to hear what I said. I want you to hear what I said, though. I didn't say male.
I'm going there.
I said male. Okay, go ahead. Go with me. Roll with me. Okay.
That's just the basis of just being a man. Period. Outside of that, to be able to like sustain manhood, you have to take responsibility. You have to be accountable to people, accountable to others, accountable for your actions. You have to learn how to be a leader. You have to learn how to be a self-motivator, self-starter. You have to be able to and develop yourself into being a dad, develop yourself into being a husband, develop yourself like, what I'm saying? Like men now, if you're not in those positions, you should be reading, you should be learning, you should be talking to other men that are in these positions so you'll be able to be that one day. So yes, we have the basis. Then we have, what it takes to sustain manhood. So you just, like constantly, I would say, like the I-10, you got constantly working on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like never stop working on yourself.
Hey, they always doing construction on that 10 out there in AZ.
Always,
man.
bro. Always.
Lord.
That's funny.
That's-
I love it. I love it. For me though, I'm gonna keep it kind of simple too as well. Hey auntie, my auntie hopped on. But I do want to say, I'm gonna go a little Bible for y'all. The Bible talks about, depending on your translation. Hey, what up, Dennis? We talking about what makes a man right now. It talks about when I was a child, I spoke as a child. Some say I behaved as a child. I did childish things, but when I became a man, I put those childish things away, right? So there's a certain level of maturity that you have to transform into when you become a man. I think that embodies everything that you both were saying. There is a sense of responsibility. There is a sense of maturity. There is a sense of accountability that you have to have as a man. There's a sense of knowing my role as a man to be a protector, to be a provider. And here's the thing, you may not have a family, right? A lot of times we think that's just the role of a husband or that's the role of the man of the house, right? But it's the role of a man. If I'm single, my role as a man is to be a protector. My role as a man is to be responsible. My role as a man is to be a provider for even myself. I don't think a man is a man if you out there seeing how many different women can pay your bills. That's not a man. To me, that's a boy. Because as a boy, my son depends on me to pay his bills, to make sure that he's okay. So that is, to me, childlike behavior, right? But also as a man, you carry yourself differently. You speak differently. One thing that I wasn't taught as a man is you look a man in his eyes. You stand up when a man enters a room and you shake his hand with a firm grip. Those are certain things as a man that you learn that as a boy you may not get, right? So those are just, huh?
Go ahead.
What'd you say? No, go ahead, say it.
I was just gonna add to that, like never jump feet first in the pool. If you're
It's just look, it's just certain stuff as a man that you learn, right? That you learn or that you're taught, right? Okay, so first of all, we had to establish, and for y'all that are listening, go ahead, tell me a little bit in the chat. What do you think a man is? I'm gonna look at him, I'm gonna read him, we're gonna talk about him. If y'all got something good to say, if you talking some foolishness, Dennis, we not gonna read what you got to say. That's my boy Dennis. He was on last week. We actually had a dope conversation last week. If y'all want to chime in on that, go check last week's episode. All right, so now that we've established what a man is, right? I need y'all to talk a little bit about the difference between an adult male and a man. The difference between adult male and a man.
I think what I stated earlier, that's the adult, that's the male. Like you're born a boy, you have a penis, you know what I'm saying? You have testosterone in your body. You are a male. You know what I'm saying? Like, other than that don't make you a man though. It just makes you a male species. I think what Ashley and I and yourself stated earlier, that's what makes you a man. Like you grow into these you grow into manhood. Because it's like you got these quinceañeras. I just did a quinceañera like Saturday. And like at 15, they consider that going into womanhood. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a teenager, but then at 15, it's like, oh, now I'm becoming this woman. And I think that I don't think like, I know around 16, 17 is when young men started developing and growing into like manhood. Like, I think that's the special age, special time where us as older men need to be pouring into those that are like younger, 16, 17, 18, teaching them the way to man. I'm surprised, to be honest. Like they have bar mitzvahs, which is what I've known to be majority little girls. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't know how many you did. I did like one or two. So and they were just for like little girls. But then you have these quinceañeras that are just dedicated to like, you know, the ladies. And then like even I'm Haitian. So even in my culture, when it's 15, 16, they do these womanhood kind of like ceremonies for like there, but I don't see anything for the guys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so bar mitzvah. So the bar mitzvah community is male and female. So bar mitzvah is male. Bat mitzvah is female.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I do
yeah.
a lot of bar mitzvahs as well. That's kind of their transition. And it's
Yeah.
like they do it around 12, 13 years old. So
Mm.
yeah,
That's
yeah, they
young.
yeah.
That
So
is young.
ain't no 13-year-old ready to be no grown man or
Wow,
woman.
wow, wow.
Not in
No.
these days and age,
No.
right? But when you go back into maybe like biblical times, right? Ancient times, I guess you was considered grown. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They was having kids at 13, 14 years old, having
Yeah.
houses, married at that time.
True,
So
especially if you're Mormon.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That might also be
was.
part of the problem too, is we're trying to make 13-year-olds men. You know what I mean? When they're still children, they still have some development to go through. And I think, you know, that is the difference. I would say the difference between a man and a male is a male who feels entitled to the expectations of what a man and how a man is viewed without doing the work.
Come
So
on.
you are like,
Well, Miss
oh,
Allen.
I'm a man. I'm a man because I'm male. And then that just starts a whole cycle of
Yeah.
just chaos and misunderstanding and you know, not being educated and being ignorant to the things of what it really takes to set a foundation of who they're going to be. So, but then like we just said, we trying to make a 13-year-old, you know, in some cases head of the house. You the head of the household.
Mm.
You're the man of the family now. You are these things, and we are making them jump 5 steps ahead, and it's premature.
Yeah. Wow. That I think you said something so key when you said you have males that want to claim to be men but not willing to do the work. That
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Ooh, and that to me, that knows no age limit, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because you have 30 and 40-year-old males talking about I'm a man, but you're not responsible. You're not accountable. You don't even have self-control enough to call yourself a man, right? I feel like because I can speak on this because I've been to prison before. I did a year, but you got prisons and jails full of boys, adult males who don't have self-control, that was never taught how to be an upstanding man, right? Because what they learned to be a man from was a bad influence. What
Right.
the streets taught you what a man was, and that's not a man. Those are still childlike behavior, stealing things, hurting people, lack of self-control, no accountability, taking advantage of people, lying, manipulation. That's what babies do. That's what kids
Right.
do to try to get their way.
Right.
So, right? So if you think about it that way, you got a whole bunch of males claiming to be men who are actually boys.
Boys. Little boys.
Boys. Because I seen a post, right? I seen a post and this girl said, how did she phrase it? She said, why do grown men still like to play games? And most of the men that got on there that replied said, you're not dealing with men. You're dealing with boys. Just because they're adult, it's like you got to be at a stage where you're past playing games, right? You got to put away that childish behavior. And if you can't put it away, you're not a man. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Me and my boy, every year on my birthday, we go on a cruise, right? A guy's trip, right? And we act like boys. That gives us, look, there's a boy that lives inside of every man. And when we get together, we gonna be immature, we gonna laugh, we gonna clown, we gonna be silly, right? But I think as a man, you know how to turn it off and on. Right.
Yeah.
There's a switch that you can, when I'm with my boys, I ain't got no responsibilities. I ain't got to think about my family, my kids, my job. We can just act a fool. I can live out my childhood dreams right here, right now.
Yeah.
But as soon as I step in that door, hey, do your homework. Sit down.
Yeah.
Be quiet. I gotta pay this bill. I gotta go to work. Right? We know how to do it. We know how to turn it on and off. Well, let's see. Let's see what some of the chat say. Someone's talking about a bar mitzvah. That's Dennis. My wife said, I think the rites of passage into man and womanhood should help focus on a young person mindset into thinking higher and thinking forward. I agree with that. I think I don't think it technically in our society, when they have those rites of passages, like you said, in Haitian, they have stuff, Hispanics, they have stuff, Jewish people, they have stuff. But I think it should be more of like, it's time to grow up. It's like a switch. Okay, time to grow up. No, you're not a woman yet. No, you're not a man yet. You're still a child. There's still a lot of stuff that you got to learn. but it's time to grow up. And I think it's a good thing. I think even us as African American, Black, whatever you want to call us, we need something to tell us it's time to grow up. We need other than turning 18.
Right.
You know what I mean? We
I
just
know
don't.
we have the cotillions, but that's more about purity.
Yeah, I think the
You
cotillions
know,
are more about purity.
about purity, but
Are they?
but not really. You know,
Purity
I
culture.
feel like
Yeah, purity. We ain't going. That's a different episode. We ain't gonna talk about purity culture. We're gonna talk about that. I seen a post about that today. Actually,
I haven't seen that in a long time. But when I was younger, I went to a church, and that's what they had, and it was 15, 16 is when it happened, and so that's kind of how. But it wasn't. You know, they taught you etiquette and talked about pure and all of those things. But I don't think we really do as African Americans have anything.
Sweet 16 is that?
But that's a party.
Yeah, that's a party. It doesn't really present the opportunity as a rites of passage.
Off as a
rites of passage.
Rites of passage. Then Black people just
party.
We just want a reason to party. A reason to barbecue and party.
Right? So
we always gotta find a reason to party.
Sweet 16 is supposed to be like a rite of passage, but
yeah. All right. So we established some things. We talked about the difference between manhood and males. We talked about what a definition of a man. Can a woman?
Nope.
Hold on, let me finish. Can a woman? Listen to this is the most key part though. Can a woman on her own teach a child to be a man? Teach a boy to be a man? Come on, Ashley, give it to me. Because Ashley had words for me on this post.
I don't think so.
Okay.
And I say that I'm a key y'all, and I am in a same-sex relationship. So even as a woman who is with a woman who plans on having children, I can recognize that. I think it's very like I said, I think when people think of answering that question, it's a loaded question. The perspective can come from a woman who is trying to make a point. It can come from a woman who is in a place where she didn't have a choice and that's all she had to do. It can come from someone who is trying to fill in the gaps and teach their son to be what they wish they had, right? So I can raise my son to be a man because I'm teaching them what my dad didn't do for me, or what I wish I had as a husband or a figure or something along those lines. But I don't think so, because as women, we don't know what it's like to be a man, right? We don't know what it's like to walk out there. And I personally believe the moment men are born, there's a level of pressure on y'all that just cannot be explained, right? You're already at 5 years old, he gonna be a provider. He got to make a whole bunch of money. He can't take me to Cheesecake Factory. You know what I mean? It's a whole list of things and expectations that are already on y'all before y'all even have your first girlfriend. So that is something I think women cannot understand. So when we are trying to raise boys, we can teach them good character, good morals, all of those things, but we don't know what it feels like to have to still do those things with the adversity that comes with a man. We can't empathize on that level. So we can never understand. And I was talking about this conversation. I said, it's no different than when we as Black people say a white person or another person of color will never know what it feels like to walk in our shoes. We just simply can't. We're completely different. So I personally don't think that we can raise them to be good people, have good morals, and tell them all the right things, but there is a level that we will never be able to reach or understand, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I agree with that, Ash. Cliff, talk to me.
I agree. Just say that. I agree with that.
Now, let me ask you this before you start, Cliff. I know you had a mom and a stepdad, but really, mom was the one that raised you, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
To a certain point.
To a certain point, right? Okay.
To a certain point, yeah. So I'll talk about that in a minute. So correct, Ashley is very correct. I think a woman can teach a boy men values. So like you can teach them, like, you know what I'm saying, like even like charm, or like, hey, this is what you how to eat here on the dinner table. This is the right fork. This is the right spoon. You pull out chairs, you open the doors, you do all that. Hey, you respect women, you don't put your hands on women and things like that. Like a woman can teach boys that. But as far as like, it may sound funny, but as far as like the feelings of a man, like a woman can't teach that. Like when I had my first erection, like I couldn't go to my mom. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, brother.
My mom couldn't tell me.
Nah, brother.
Like. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, I just got through watching a Cinemax at 8 years old. Like, mom, what am I feeling? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
imagine walking up to your mama with your first snippy. Mom, what I do? What?
But that's
Yeah,
a great
man,
example. That's a great example because as a woman, the mother's first thing is going to be, what are you doing? It
Yeah.
kicks into
right.
nurturing. What are you doing? Why you
Yeah.
Not going through,
Why is it
okay,
like that?
this
What
is
do you feel like?
natural.
Mom,
What
I don't know.
you know?
I just did a breast.
Ma!
Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like those kind of, you can have the conversation, but you don't know like the feeling of how that feels. Even like the instinct of being a protector, you know, like a woman can't teach that to a man at all. So like, just for an example, not to brag or boast or anything, like the reason why I was late is like my wife and my daughter and my mother-in-law, they're outside walking the dog and I just heard like 6 gunshots. So I immediately grab my whatever and I go outside and I'm like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't just going to protect my wife and daughter. I was still going to protect my mother-in-law too, as well, because like I'm the man of the house. So that kind of stuff, like you can't teach a woman is not able to teach a man. Like she can try. Don't get me wrong. Like ladies can always try because there's some masculine women, you know what I'm saying, that just want to just do it. But it from my perspective, which I haven't, you know what I'm saying, no disrespect to those kind of women, but from my perspective, I just haven't seen it be successful. So you can't teach a man like the instinct of providing, the instinct of protecting, the instinct of like how to guide life as a man, you know. I don't think we can teach them, women can teach them biblically, women can teach them like how to love a woman, but how to be in love with a woman, like you can't. Like that kind of thing, you just can't teach. Like a lady can't teach a man. So my mom tried up until I was like 14. Then my stepdad had to step in and like really like, all right, this is how you go. So up until like 13, 14 years old, my mom tried to do everything she could to like really, because I have my dad was kind of a weekend dad. Like I saw him on the weekend. I go over his house and we hang. I got like 6 stepbrothers and like we be, you know, brothers beating each other up, all that type of stuff. But as far as like raising me as a man and how to like navigate life as a man, it was my stepdad. You know what I'm saying? Well, my adopted dad, I would say. My adopted dad as well, who taught me all of that thing.
So I think and I've seen some people in the chat, man. I'm gonna get back to them really quick. Somebody said, I feel you could teach a child to be the man she sees or from her perspective or what they wanted in one.
True. That's true.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. You can teach them what you wanted in a man or what they see, but you got to remember, children learn more from what they see than what you tell them to do, right? That old mindset, Black people have this mindset, do what I say and not as I do. That don't work. Children, they just pick up on what they see, period. It's natural. That's how we learn. If we see it and you're not telling us to do it, we're gonna learn it. So what the behavior that a child, a young man growing up in a single mom household, they're gonna pick up on the behaviors of that mom, right? And there's some femininity that comes with that, right? But so you have young men like myself who my mom always, when my grandfather died, I think I was like 7 or 8, right? I was always my grandfather. When he died, there was no man around. My mom didn't have boyfriends running in and out of the house. She was just, my mom was saved, sanctified, all that stuff. She didn't get out, right? But she always tried to put me in position with a positive male role model, whether it be sports, whether it be church, whether it be like a mentorship program in the community. She always tried to do that.
That's what Auntie
Right,
said.
right, yeah, that's what she said. Right, that's what
Yeah,
she said. So, but here was the thing that I struggled with growing up, because I wasn't taught how to interact with a father figure. I didn't know how to receive from those men that my mom
Yeah.
put me in front of. So
Yeah.
I rejected those men who tried to come and teach me things. I rejected and pushed them away. Some, they would be like, "Oh, call me," and I would be mad at them, or like, "You can't tell me what to do," and stuff like that. So those are some of the resistance that came because I wasn't taught how to receive from a man. And I think a lot of single women have sons who either they don't know how to do that, or they go searching for male influence from the wrong places, right? Go ahead. What you about to say, Cliff?
I was gonna say, like, even just a little tidbit. Like, I was feminine as a little kid because I was just always around my mom and my aunties and blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yes, ma'am. Your mom is right there while you're asking me. Mama, like 2 feet away, is asking me for that. So I was like, as a feminine kid, like I wasn't like, gay. I don't know the proper term, whatever. Anyway, I was just like, I would like walk in my mom's like heels, and they would laugh about it, like, "Oh, look, you walking in some heels." It wasn't until like my adopted dad was like, "No, like little boys don't do this." You know what I'm saying? Like little boys don't. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't like mean about it. He was just like, "Hey, as a man, we don't walk in our mom's shoes," or blah blah blah. As a man, you know what I'm saying, we don't go outside and make mud pies with your sisters. You know what I'm saying? Like as a man, we don't play with the female Barbie. We play with the male toy. You know what I'm saying? Like he was separating the two. And like I don't think I would have learned that, you know what I'm saying, if I didn't have a man. Like he didn't down any of the stuff. He was just like, hey, this is he made a clear separation. You know what I'm saying? What the two was. And like that did a lot for me because up until then, like I said, it was just me. My brother was 10 years older than me, so he was already out the house. I was 8, he was 18. So it was just me, my mom, and 3 of my aunts living in the same house. So all I got to see was just lady stuff. You know
women.
And women. And like they undressing in front of me and what, you know what I'm saying? Like all of this.
Bruh, I never understood that. I think back now, y'all did, what did y'all do? Why would y'all just walk around naked?
Walk around just out there, bro. Like I'm like,
do mamas still do that? Do they still do that?
Interesting. I never experienced that with my.
Oh man, my mama, my aunt, bruh, every day.
Caribbean moms, man.
No, because I ain't Caribbean. Every day after work, my mama, she gonna whoop me for this. She'll take off her shirt, get that bra off, and she get the scratch on her titties. Like, what is going on? Why do I have to see this? But it was normal.
It was normal.
Like I got immune to it, so it was nothing. But in all actuality, if there's a man in the home, he's gonna put a stop to that. Stop changing in front of this boy. Stop exposing yourself. This is a boy. I don't care if it's your child. This is still a young man. What you don't want is for him to get his first erection off you. That's what you don't want. That would be disgusting. But you're not thinking about that, right?
Right.
You're not thinking. She said them bra and them slips. Yeah, they're not thinking about that, and it's just certain behavior. I think that's why it's so important to have a 2-parent household if you can, right? Because there's certain behavior that I don't think our moms meant any harm by doing it, right? I think they loved us wholeheartedly. They were just comfortable. But if a man's in the home, he'll be able to recognize that should not be happening, right? Same thing, even on the flip side, right? You got a man at home, you got a house full of boys, and you have a little girl. There's something that the mom will say, like, hold on, we gotta get some order. This ain't gonna happen.
So it's just me, but like after a certain age, I stopped giving my daughters bath. Like I just don't do it. And even like when they use the bathroom at like 2 and 3 years old, like I walk out. You know what I'm saying? Like I let them use it. I close the door. My daughter's screaming. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm giving you privacy." And like she's learned the word privacy at like 2 years old because I'm establishing that boundary. Like, hey, men shouldn't be in the bathroom with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I'm your dad, but like men shouldn't be touching you here at certain ages and stuff like that. Like, I just don't do it. So like, it just establishes that rule.
Absolutely. I even do that with my son. Like, I mean, if he needs help in the bathroom, I'm gonna help him. But
Yeah,
me and my wife always tell him, don't let nobody else touch you here. You let us know if somebody touches you here. Like, knowing this is your private area, those are your privacy. You close the door if you're changing your clothes. Like, it's something that we need to teach our young kids, because unfortunately, as I've grown older and talked to more people, a lot of kids have been touched inappropriately at a very early age, and they may not have even told anyone or realized they're being touched inappropriately because no one taught them, like, this is wrong. You should not allow any adult, I don't care who this adult is, it ain't your mom, ain't your daddy, don't let nobody touch you right there.
Exactly.
But they're just not being taught that. And then we all know that what that can lead to later on in life, the whole world of issues that can happen from that.
Yeah,
right.
So I let mom handles the bath. Like, that's their time that they, you know what I'm saying? And, well,
go ahead, Ashley. Go ahead, Ashley.
I have
Ashley.
a question, just to really how we're talking about, how you said, a husband would put a stop to this. Just made me think, just kind of going deeper. Does a woman raise a child differently when a man is present, right? So is it the same type of parenting as a woman when she's a single woman, and then if she gets married or a man comes present, does that change? And how does that affect how she raises a son?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you that's a great question. Go ahead, Cliff. You want to answer?
I think both parties, single dads, and single moms, I think they get a little lax when the other half isn't around. That's just me personally. That's what I've seen. That's what I've been
now
through.
Explain lax for me. What do you mean by lax? Like, they get lazy?
Yeah, like not lazy, but like
exceptions, maybe.
Did he freeze?
I think so.
Oh, you froze. That must not have been the truth. The Lord shut you up.
He's in deep thought.
Yeah. So I will say, I'm gonna just chime in kind of on what he says. If I would just interpret lax, maybe he's saying, like, as a single parent, you got to go hard all the time, right? But some of the slack, when you're tired a day, or you have somebody to depend on. There's another parent in the home who can pick up the slack in certain areas. But to go back to your question, Ashley, I believe that a woman does raise their child differently when there's a man in the home, and same thing, vice versa. If a male has a child and they have a woman at home, because we carry different things, right?
Yeah.
Just naturally, there's a certain nurturing level. Oh, we lost him. He'll probably get back on. There's a certain level of nurturing that. Oh, here he come. Let me get him back on. All right, there you go.
My Wi-Fi went down, so you got to get the phone now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All good. There's a certain level of nurturing, I think, that a woman has that sometimes men just don't possess, right? We're so tough sometimes, right? We're so hard, and sometimes these kids, they just need a soft touch from mama. You know what I mean? And that's all, and they'll feel better. They just need that soft touch from mama, that hug, that kiss in mama's arms. That's all they need. You know what I'm saying? I remember being a kid, and one thing I loved from my mom was when she used to rub my back. Or even sometimes now, my wife, I'll be like, can you just rub my back? It's just comforting, right? That soft touch. But I don't think if I had a dad, hey dad, can you rub my back? Right. I'd be like, boy. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain things. It's just we bring different things to the table, right? And even if you're a single mom, or you're like you said you're in a same-sex relationship, if you guys want to have a kid, I think it's important. Mute your phone, Cliff, if you're talking to Shy or the kids. I think it's important to kind of like I think my auntie Miss Marilyn said, she said, put them in situations or put them in atmospheres where they can be influenced by the other. And I even think, even if you're a mom with a daughter, a single daughter, they still need to be around a man.
Absolutely.
They need to still get the perception, like, how does a man want to view a young lady? You know what I mean? How they need to be treated right by a man. I think a lot of women even have trauma because all the men that were supposed to be in their lives have either abandoned them, not loved them, treated them wrong. And so that your first interpretation of what a man does is negative, because daddy ain't there, or daddy only in and out, or you see daddy treating mama wrong or something like that,
Or that's
so
the norm. That's the picture of what love is, right? So if
mhm.
you ain't yelling at me, hollering at me, you don't care.
Exactly. Then you wonder why they got a boyfriend that's screaming and cussing them and calling them out
Right.
their names and all that stuff. That's what they
It's
learn.
crazy. And for some women they equate that to love
They
and
do
and
equate it
care.
to love.
So, but absolutely.
Okay, so it says, I'm gonna read some of these comments. It says, Dennis said, a stepdad or a new man in your life doesn't have the right to discipline. So we try to get you to do it until your child is it's comfortable to listen to us stepdaddies, but we will be hard on y'all to get that child right. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that because I think
don't know about that one.
I think number one, stop trying to be stepdaddy when you just smashing every now and then. Number one. Number two, if you're gonna be a stepdaddy, be all in. Love them
Absolutely.
like this is your child. Don't love them like it's your step baby.
And like, and another caveat, like we, as the real dad, have to be mature enough to allow that man to be a bonus dad. I'll say the word bonus dad because step I don't really like that word.
Yeah, bonus
But
dad, absolutely.
A bonus dad, like we got to be mature. We can't be like, oh man, I knew can't discipline my. Why would you would put his hands on my kid? No, if that woman is married to that man, yeah, this is a go. Like
Right.
Absolutely.
Like
you got to believe that the mother of your child is never going to put that child in harm's way, and same thing and vice versa, because if that child's out of line and only the bonus dad is there, you better correct them. Don't let them act the fool. Correct that behavior.
Wait on your mama. Wait till your mama get here.
Right? No, you
Right,
correct that.
right.
Then that child gonna
Especially
run
if
all.
we living in the same house. Oh no.
It
Right.
won't work because it's divided. We've already established that there are boundaries for this person to help raise your child, which
Yes.
how is that possible in house? And why would you want your child to be in a divided household?
Absolutely.
So you want to be able, if anything, if you're struggling with that and you have an insecurity about another man being your child's bonus dad, then it should be up to you to start to build a relationship with that man so that you're comfortable enough and y'all can raise y'all child in a cohesive environment.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, then you're not putting your child first.
You're not. I think he followed up and said, the mamas will check you even though the daddies ain't ish. Well, look, here's the thing. You gotta have that conversation first.
Yeah.
If you at the point of marriage with this woman, that's something you got to know before you get to marriage. What are we going to do about your child? What relationship do you want me to have? I'm not willing to go into a marriage if you want me to be your friend to this 7-year-old? I'm not a friend to a 7-year-old.
No.
You know what I mean?
Like
I'm not
date 3.
Yeah, right.
Like we grown. We don't got time to go back and forth. Like,
right.
What are your intentions? Do you want to get married? Do you want kids? How you like?
Yeah.
Grown.
We too grown. We're not 23. Like we grown. We trying to establish a lifestyle here. So those are the things. Don't wait till you done already put a ring on her and then say, oh, the mama's checking me for being to their kid. No, because that mama's willing to marry you. She's got to understand that you're willing to be the man of that house. Speaking from a man's perspective, you're willing to be the man of that house. You're willing to take their child on as your own child, when they're in the presence, whether dad's around or not, right? You still want to make sure, even on the flip side, you want a man, you want to have a woman around that you trust enough to mother and love on this child no matter what. So I don't know. I don't know what type of women you dealing with, Dennis, or what conversations you having, but those are something you got to figure out before you get to that point.
I don't believe Dennis is having any conversations.
You ain't talking to him at all, huh?
Yeah. I think like if the girl got kids, he's like, nah, fuck that.
Now look. Now I know he's talked about this. He was married before shortly, but the daughter was grown. You can't discipline no grown child. Don't try to. She grown. She was over 18. You'll try to be her bonus daddy at 18.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's Hey, that's a grown woman, right? I mean, she ain't a grown woman, but she an adult. You can't change too much at 18 years old.
I got a question for Ashley.
Yeah.
I know you said you're in a same-sex relationship. Do you have kids or no?
I don't have kids.
You're intriguing me with you saying that you want kids.
Absolutely.
So I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, you might like do an adoption or like an in vitro kind of thing,
Yes.
right? If you're in this same-sex relationship.
Yes.
How do you plan on having that male figure in his life, or if it's a boy, you know, like how do you plan on raising that with
tackling
instinct?
that. We actually, because we're so aware of how important that is, it is a conversation we have often, and it's something that we're still trying to figure out. You know, we're trying to get through the wedding part first, but you know, we have men in our lives. I have a stepfather or a bonus father, and he has been that role to my nephew. That's kind of the story that we've had. So I've seen it that way. My biological father passed away when I was very young. So my stepfather has been that example in my life. It's gonna be, you know, coaches, sports. That's probably where we're gonna end up at. Just,
Okay.
you know, to be completely honest, but being intentional about it and making sure that we're keeping our eyes open when we do see someone that we feel can be, you know, a good role model to them, that we keep them around and in their lives. And we're not, we like to say, you know, we're funny. We like to say that, you know, they'll kick us out the community because when we say, we don't fly around with rainbows and
Oh, I respect that.
we don't do those things. At the end of the day, it's just, you know, we are in the situation that we are in our relationship. We love each other, but, you know, we respect how everybody feels, right? I don't in order for me to respect you, you don't have to agree with my lifestyle. You know what I mean? And we are very aware of that. So we're not ignorant enough to say, well, we don't need a man in our children's lives. We do. And it's and because of what we've chosen, it's going to be difficult for us to figure out how that's going to happen. So as of right now, it's just the men in our life. You know, we both grew up with not having our biological fathers there. That's her, Erica. That's her.
Hey, Erica. I was like, who's Erica? Now I know Erica. What's up, Erica?
We both grew up, you know, we both grew up with not having our biological father. Her father came in later, and now he's very present. You know, I love him. He's great. My stepfather has always been a provider, but it wasn't like I came home and was like, let me tell you about my day, you know? So we know what it feels like to miss that. And we're hoping, you know, that we're able to be empathetic because we know what that feels like. So yeah, we figuring it out.
I think that's such a mature approach. I think because you do hear, and I'm not in the like you said, the community. I can say the community, right? I'm not trying to offend nobody.
Listen, I don't know the rules. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know the rules.
We don't get kicked out.
They change like every week, bro. They
Right.
add letters to it and everything.
I don't
Right.
know.
But I think I hear that a lot where they don't. No, we don't need no man around. We but it's mature to recognize that regardless of you guys' relationship, if you have a young man, or even if you have a little girl, you still want that male presence somewhere in the mix, right? So they get that perception, so they get that understanding, because they're gonna see women examples from YouTube, period. Right. But to be mature enough to say, hey, this is what the lifestyle we're chose to live in. This is what we do. We love each other, but we still need that added piece. And we're going to find that piece, whether it's sports, whether it's grandfather, whether it's uncle, whatever. We're going to find it. I think that's dope. Oh,
thank you.
I appreciate it. All right, Dennis just, let me just tell you, this is what Dennis said. I'm going to tell you what Dennis said that just completely ruins his whole first comment about a woman not allowing him to be the stepdaddy. Now, mind you, he's only been married one time, okay? For a short period of time. He said, I've been stepdad for many years to many women's kids, young and old. How, when you wasn't married to that's the problem. You can't make assumptions on how a woman is telling you to act with their kid when you're not willing to give them your last name. I don't have confidence that you're going to be here tomorrow you can't tell my kid nothing. You ain't willing to put a ring on my finger. You ain't trying to marry me. You ain't nothing. You ain't making me your wife. You can't tell my kids nothing.
The word "ben," BEEN, negates everything.
Right. I've been stepped. No, you should still be.
You should still be. Yeah. Like, and I have no disrespect to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's cool. Like, we had a good podcast. Like, you know, that ain't my homie nothing, but like, I respect him as a man. But like, bro, been contradicting himself for the last couple of podcasts, and I'm like, bro, like, if you're gonna be the man, like for this topic right now, if you're gonna be the man, like, it shouldn't be a Ben. You should even like. I have Kayla. You know Kayla.
Mm-hmm.
Kayla's not even my daughter. I've been around her since she was 3 months, and I still treat her as like she's my kid. Even though I'm not with her mom. I have very little contact with her mom besides like the kids that we have. But at the same time, she has my mom, my mom name tatted on her because my mom treated her like a real granddaughter. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm still there. Like I talk to her once a week, and she always in Chicago. She's 21 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is no Ben for me. You know, like even if we don't talk, if I'm not in their lives as a like I once was when I was married to her mom, there's still no Ben. Like I was around her since she was 3 months old. Like, bro, you have to be like that guy in their lives, even though you're not with their moms. If you establish any kind of relationship, bro, you're just gonna be in the eyes of them as just another nigga who walked away from my mom. You know what I'm saying? Or just another nigga who was there to just hit and bounce, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be active, even if you're not with the mom no more. Call and check up. You know what I'm saying? How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Let's go grab some food. If you establish a relationship. Now, if there's no relationship established, then I get it. But if you have a relationship with those kids, bro, there should be no Ben. Sorry, that was my soapbox.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I have an ex, my ex-wife. We was together for very short. I think like 6 months married. We was together longer than that. But she had 3 kids or whatever. And I played the father role when I was there. But even now today, right? They're grown, they're older, they have social media. I still talk to them on social media. Now, it's not my responsibility to raise them. It wasn't even. They were in my home, so I had a responsibility to raise them. But when we kind of separated, I kind of lost contact with them, right? But they still had their family. They still had support. 2 of them had their daddies that were around and in their life, right? So even though I'm not their stepdaddy because I wasn't with their mom that long, right? I still have a relationship with them, whatever. And their mama never said, don't. I mean, she told me one time, whoop my son, and I felt uncomfortable, right? I'm like, we knew you want me to whoop this boy already. I was like nervous. She saw I was nervous, so she whooped him or whatever. But I was like, you know what I mean? I was like, he ain't no little. This boy 13 years old. You want me to whoop him? So, and I'm in my 20s. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. So I think number one, if you're gonna be with them and you gonna call them no stepkids, they still your stepkids. If you build that or they still your bonus kids if you want to build that relationship with them. And 2, can't no woman force you to be a daddy to their kids, especially if you're not marrying them, especially if you're not, and you or they not living in your household and you taking care of all the bills and providing for everything. Like, nah, you can't no woman put these kids on you. Now, if you accept them and you want to play that role, then step up and be a man and play that role. And I think that's what we're saying. If you want to be like, for you, when I met you, Cliff, and Kayla I thought you was her daddy. I didn't know no different. I didn't know no different.
It's still no different now. Like, if she needs me, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Or like, I mean, I'm not like in because like, first of all, she's grown. She's 21, so she's like frolicking everywhere now. And at the same time, like, I'm not gonna not call her my daughter because me and I'm not together. You know, like that's the responsibility of being a man. You know, if you're gonna step up and be that man, then be the man, bro. Like, not just Dennis. I'm just talking to any guy who's on the podcast right now or who's gonna see it later. Like, just be that. Even if you have no contact, that kid still is gonna need you because you're at that moment. Oh, that's all they know. You know. So I tell you that their mom meets another guy and they start, you know, dating in a relationship, whatever, all of that. But until then, bro, like you're all they know.
Absolutely. I got another question for you, Ashley, because you said your
Yeah.
dad passed away when you were young, right?
hmm
How did you have any other male influences growing up?
I did. So my mom got married to my stepfather when I want to say 6 or 7. So he has
Okay.
been primarily my father in my life, and he's
Oh,
been
okay.
great, you know. But he's more so like our house was taken care of. We never had to worry about nothing. Like he's that guy. He takes till this day takes care of us, takes care of my nephew, all of those things. But I think what I can say I missed was being able to like crawl into my dad's arms when I had a bad day
Mm,
and cry. In those instances, I went to my mom, you know, and I feel that I missed that, you know.
mm,
I get it when I needed to really
Say
have
that.
that, I went to my uncles, like his brothers and those things, because one, I felt like I had that connection with them
mm,
because they were my dad's brothers, but um I I missed my dad. I missed him
mm,
on that, and I'm aware of that. How it's kind of played into my life, I think it made me too independent, in a sense of I don't I don't need a man to figure things out
mm,
type. You know, for me it's kind of opposite. Like sometimes you get the girls who go out and they're, you know, promiscuous, and cuz my dad, and for me it was kind of like, nope, I got it. I'm good. I wanted to be
yeah.
a successful, all those things. So I'm still trying to figure that out. You know, counseling's good.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. You do get both sides. You get the woman that says, I ain't never had to depend on no man as a kid. I'm never gonna depend on one. I'm gonna do it all
Mhm.
myself. Then you also got the woman that is, I need men, I need men, I need a man, I need a
Mhm.
man for every little thing. It's interesting. My daughter, she depends on me for everything. She sent me this video. It said, it was a video, and the caption of the video said, whoever whoever's initial name starts with this initial has to send you money for a tattoo, and the initial was D. And I said, you know, my name ain't Dad, right? You know, I have a name. That's what I told my. She's like, well, you dad to me. I'm like, but you know, even though I laugh at that, and my daughter's always coming to me I'd rather that she's depending upon me than out there and any man with $20, $40 to give her to put in her gas tank, she laying up with. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'd rather her depend on me, and I can show her how a man is to provide, to make sure you're safe, to make sure, you know, even if I can't be there to change your tire, I'm making sure AAA is there and with you. I'm on the phone with you.
Mhm.
I'm, you know, I know your location to make sure you're safe. I tell her, you know, don't leave this house without letting me know that you leaving this house. Even if she's grown, she's 19 years old. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So it's just like certain things that as a dad that you can kind of do for your child, so that later on in life they can kind of seek out some of those behaviors
Yeah.
from their partner. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And it's
So
not amazing when a man does it, right? So
yeah.
if she dating someone they call AAA, she like, oh, he called AAA, he love me, girl. That's normal.
Right. That's
You know,
normal.
your daddy
Right.
taught you that. You don't
Right.
want those normal things to feel super, super special, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. You set the foundation for you beautiful. Okay, my daddy told me that my whole life,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And so so they don't get trapped into that, you know, someone making them feel good, because feelings, you know, they're so temporary, and you
Mm-hmm.
can make decisions that'll change your life forever off temporary. And so when you have that, and you have as a woman, you have a man telling you those things, it doesn't seem like it's not weighted so heavy
Yeah.
when you get older.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, guys, we are almost out of time. Ashley, listen, let me tell you something. You need a show. You talk so well, so insightful. I think you're honest. I think you like a lot of your thought process. I didn't even expect that from you. What I got from you today is amazing.
Well,
So
thank you.
yeah, I'm gonna have you back. You are
All
great.
right, I'll
You are
come back.
great. Cliff, hey, as always, my brother, you do your thing. I appreciate it. Tell Peyton she can have you back now. I heard her making all that noise in the background. Y'all,
Yeah, I have to give it up.
please like this. Please share it. I need y'all to share it. Go subscribe on YouTube. Please like and share this. I'm on Instagram at the DJ Benzie. Just look up at the DJ Benzie on all platforms. We're trying to get to $1,000. Like I said at the beginning of the show, when I reach,
$1,000?
Yes.
I'm gonna give away $1,000 when I get to 1,000 subscribers. Somebody gonna get $1,000. If I'm broke, I'm gonna give it to my wife. But I won't be broke. All right, y'all. God bless y'all. Thank y'all so much. Thanks for tuning in to the